Okay, welcome back. Another episode. Back on
Good to
air.
be back. Yeah, missed one in the middle there. I got pretty sick, but good to be back.
You back and powerful, feeling strong?
No, not even a little bit.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Over the gut illness at least? How about that?
over the illness. Yeah,
Okay.
over the
We'll take
illness.
that.
Got the stomach bug that ripped through the family.
Stomach bug's the worst.
Oh, dude, it is the worst. My older son got it first and threw up like 6 times, which is just the saddest thing in the world when a
I
kid
know,
throws
they're
up.
so pitiful, yeah.
They just look at you all sad and then they throw up. And it's like, oh, buddy. And then my wife got it and was just kind of nauseous and never threw up and was over it in like 12 hours. And then I got it and I didn't throw up. I got close, but I got stomach cramps for like 18 hours. And I've never had stomach cramps before. Oh my gosh. I wanted to die. Yes. I was like writhing in pain.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
there were points where I was like on the floor in the closet, curled up in a ball. It's like, what is happening?
Oh, you're really on a run here.
Oh my gosh, what is going on? So, yeah, that was bad. And then I had fever. I had fever for like 3 or 4 days. The kind of fever where you wake up and like your sheets are drenched with sweat.
Well, it's kind of a weird combo. I feel like with the stomach bug, the fever, like maybe you have a little fever quickly, but you don't usually get the multi-day fever with the stomach bug. I feel like
I know,
that's an
that's what
odd
I'm saying.
combo there. Wonder if you had 2 things at once. The way your luck's going, I'm guessing you had 2 different things at once.
I think that's probably right, the way my luck is going. And then, of course, I'm still in all this, like, just like excruciating physical pain, where I can barely like lift my arms over my head and can't get up off the ground by myself. It's like, yeah, pretty bad.
Any luck there with figuring that out?
No, they've diagnosed me with rheumatoid arthritis by process of elimination, which doesn't give me a lot of confidence,
right?
Because I don't have the blood tests to support rheumatoid arthritis. Right. And they're like, yeah, in 20% of the cases, you don't have the blood tests, and we just diagnose it anyway. I'm like, that seems convenient, doesn't it? So I'm gonna go get a second opinion.
Yeah, definitely do that. It's so hard because I had some health stuff go on when we had young kids, and it's like just like going to the doctor is just like impossible on top of kids and work and everything. It's so rough. But
so rough.
You know if they tested for Lyme disease? I know it's not big down there, but up here that's a big thing, and it has like those kind of symptoms sometimes. I don't know if you know about it, but it's like a tick-borne illness, but it's really common up where I live. And yeah, then they like slam you with tons of antibiotics to patch you up. But
no,
might be something if you go back for another test. It's more rare in the South, but it is spreading, so it is like more common than it used to be. It used to be
interesting,
didn't exist down there, but it is. And I don't know. Have you traveled up north lately? I don't recall if you have.
Well, we went to what's it called?
We went to Vermont. Oh
yeah,
Vermont is like a total hotbed of Lyme disease. Yeah, like you should definitely get checked for that. Like if you have untreated Lyme disease for like now it's been like 6 months or whatever, like absolutely, or 4 months or whatever, like you could have those kind of symptoms.
Interesting.
So we're playing doctor here on the podcast, but
yeah,
something to look into.
Interesting. That is a good. Oh, that would be awesome.
Right.
I would love to have Lyme disease. That would be amazing.
Right. It actually can be quite serious. Of course, there was a vaccine for it for a little while, but then like whatever, something happened, they don't sell it anymore. And I wish they'd just make a vaccine for it, but I don't know. So no vaccine, no actual like total cure exactly, but they do with a bunch of antibiotics. It usually patches you up. Like I've had it, my son had it.
Really?
So yeah.
I wonder.
I didn't get that far with it. I didn't have that kind of pain. It was definitely different. like because one of the things is you get like if you see the patch on you, it's like a circular skin rash kind of thing. Like if you see that, then you just know you have it, but you only get that like 30% of the time or something. And also like ticks bite you in weird spots where like it might bite you in your hairline or like wherever, and you just don't even see it, even if you get it. So yeah, but it's kind of fever and stuff like that. But it's like some of these weird things. It's like some people it's quite severe. Some people it's like they live with it forever and don't even know. And yeah, but up here, like everybody gets like when you have a physical, you get Lyme disease tested always, and like kids always get it tested every physical. Yeah, it's just like a thing you just do if you live in New York, Connecticut. I think in Vermont and stuff they would have it up there. So yeah, so
Interesting.
something to check out.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask if I can get tested for that because I would love an answer.
Right. Yeah, especially since you don't have a solid answer. It's definitely
Yeah.
worth digging around in some other more far afield things and just getting more advice, because a lot of times you just gotta find the right doctor to like go down the
Oh
right
my
path.
gosh,
Like,
these doctors,
I
man,
know
they
it's the
just
freaking
don't
worst.
freaking care at
What
all.
the whole system's like, we're gonna move, I think, to this one of these. So I assume it's the same down by you, but like doctors now are just like, you got 7 minutes, go. What can you tell me? And
Yes.
it's like, yeah, like okay, like here's my whole life story. Here's everything that's ever happened to me.
Yep.
I'm trying to race through it, right? And they're like, okay, and then like, okay, here's some tests. Get out of here, and like on to the
Yep.
next one. So, but they have these doctors where like you just basically pay more. There's
Yes.
actual name for these things, but it's like whatever. It's like $250.
Concierge.
Yeah, but it's like you get that hour with the doctor, and it's like, yes, that's what
Yeah.
I want. And then like they can still refer you to specialists that are like under your health insurance. So whatever, if you had to go to a specialist, they refer you, and that's fine. Or blood work is still your health insurance. But for the like day in, day out, I'm sitting down, I'm having a physical. Let's go through something that's going on with me, or just in general, how's it going? Like, here's somebody's gonna sit and listen to me for 20 solid minutes, and we can have a conversation instead of
Yes.
you're just in the Borg and they're just churning you out. And if you don't have like obvious cancer or your arms falling off, then they're just like, get out of here.
Yep.
So I don't know. We're thinking about doing that because we have an $80 copay anyway. So I'm like, well, $80 copay, or I could pay $250, and it's like once a year. Like, I'm just gonna start doing that. But yeah, so it might be worth finding one of those types.
Yep. It's the worst. They come in, they stare at their computer the whole time,
Right.
ask you a couple questions, write a few things down, and then are like, okay, well, it's probably this. I'll give you this medicine and we'll see how it works. Come back in 3 weeks. I'm like, what?
Right.
You haven't listened to anything I've been saying.
Yeah.
So,
I had some stuff, I went down a whole path of like wrong medicine on a thing I had, like this was years ago, but it's like, because they just they're like, okay, here, take this medicine. And you're like,
yes.
is it even the right medicine? Like, there's not even necessarily follow-up depending on what it is. Like, okay, come back in a year, and it's like, I'm gonna start taking this thing for a year and see if it works.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right, well, hopefully some progress gets made there, man.
Hopefully I'll have Lyme disease. We'll see.
Right.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
Well, let me start with setting a mutually shared understanding. You know how I always have good ideas that never backfire? Yes,
obviously,
perfect.
Right. We've established that on the show.
Yeah, multiple times. So what if I took all of these tests, all of these dozens and dozens of blood tests that I've had, and I like put them on GitHub, like on an open source repo, and then turn the internet loose on it, and I'm like, what do you think I have?
Yeah. Well, I mean, have you tried the ChatGPT version of that?
I have, yeah, I have. And I
don't know,
interesting
there?
No, nothing interesting.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Like, I mean,
Why
the worst
not,
case
right?
scenario is like somebody says, hey, you should go to this kind of doctor, and you waste a half a day going to that kind of doctor, and that's it. Like, it seems reasonable.
I figure I could nerd snipe some people who are like, ooh, I bet I could figure it out.
You got a lot of reach.
Yeah, they'll go like super far into it. Maybe it ends up on Reddit and everybody like nerds out about it for a long time, and then
you have these weird. The thing is, when you have like something that's not totally standard, right? It's like the whole system's not designed for that. Like like there's nobody in charge of figuring that out other than you, and then so you have to go through. So like when I had this dizziness, eye issue stuff going on, which I didn't know was eye issue. Like it was just years of like, well, flare, it kind of got worse. I'll go to a doctor. They'll be like, go for a hearing test, whatever, this and the other thing, right? And it's like eventually I stumbled on the thing it actually was, and you're like, oh shit. But it took like 8 years or whatever
Right.
to do that. And then yeah, maybe there's somebody out there. Like one of the things I did is I wrote a blog post, and that blog post actually gets a fair amount of people on it because it's like, hey, if you have these symptoms, like here's a weird diagnosis that nobody is in the world is going to give you if they're just like a regular eye doctor at your mall. Like they're not up on this stuff. And so yeah, so there are just like weird things that go on with people that if you don't have the regular stuff, you kind of need to find somebody who can point you in the right direction, or you need to grind the doctor treadmill until you find the one that's willing to dig deeper. So yeah, I mean, I actually think that's a fine idea. Like, it's not even
Good
like
idea,
you're
right?
giving out your DNA or whatever. It's like, whatever, here's some blood tests. Like, who cares? What do you think?
Who cares?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
All
like
right, I
it.
think I'm gonna do that and see what the nerds of the internet think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a lot of bad. I'm gonna get a lot of bad.
Yeah, you better be ready to
advice.
filter. Yeah, you gotta have
Yeah.
like a strong filter up of
Yeah,
like you're gonna get.
I'm ready.
Especially if you're putting on YouTube. I don't know if you're gonna go YouTube with it on the YouTube channel, or if you're gonna go
Maybe,
that far with it or
yeah.
not. If you go that
We'll
far,
see.
like you're gonna get some, weird replies in there. But
And I bet about 60% of the replies are going to be about gut health, which I'm like,
right,
I don't know. That doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't know what you mean by gut health.
There's gonna be that stuff. There's gonna be, are you sure you're not already dead? Are you sure you're alive?
Right,
You might already be dead. Like,
Mhm.
right, yeah, all this other stuff. Or like,
There's maybe going to be like a 5%, like, how dare you have us do the work for you? What a privileged person you are. But
yeah.
We'll see.
I think it can't hurt. I'm down
hurt,
with it.
right?
Yeah, I think it's
This is another good Aaron idea.
I think this is a good idea.
Speaking of good Aaron ideas, I am officially back on paternity leave as of today.
Oh, okay. I was kind of wondering about that. It seemed like this would be
Yeah.
hard to not be on paternity leave right now.
This is hard to not be on paternity leave. Yeah. So I have 5 more weeks. We get a total of 12, and I was gonna like take them later in the year.
Right.
And just not working. So back on paternity, already feeling a sense of relief of like, okay, I can just focus on getting through this, like through over the hump with these kids and figuring out some of this health stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's
even
a lot, man.
Even just on the kid, even putting aside the health stuff, just on the kid front, like between birth and 3 months old, like 3 months old is so much better. Like there's just going to be a lot easier to deal with if you get another month or 2 under their belts here. 3 or 4 months old or whatever they'll be when you're done. I feel like that's probably a good move.
Yeah, just continually punched in the face. So I talked to Holly yesterday, and I was like, "Listen, I feel really guilty, but I've got to take the rest of this paternity." And she was like, "Why do you feel guilty? Take your paternity." So yeah, I'm on paternity.
Like, do you have time off? Would you take time off on top? You think, or?
I think like technically I could. We have unlimited PTO.
Unlimited PTO. That's such a weird. I'm not a fan of the unlimited PTO.
I know. So I don't know like
what's acceptable there. Like you're getting punched in the face. Does that mean you could take 6 months off? Is that too much? Can you take 3 weeks off? Can you take 2 weeks off? Like it feels just much nicer to be like, you get X time off. Everybody knows what you get. Maybe there's extenuating circumstances where like you have to work something out with somebody because they need more time, and then that's the conversation you can have versus like sort of weirdo state. But all right, well that's an option I guess too. Yeah, if you need to what is going on? If you need like a little more time too, but they're going to be a lot bigger and better there after even just a little more time. So
yeah,
I think 4 kids, man.
4 kids, man. It's
going to be a lot for a while.
It's too many kids.
It's a lot of kids.
It's too many.
It's a lot of kids.
It's just they're everywhere.
Maybe got eBay one. Just eBay. Go down to 3.
Well, they come in sets. Yeah, I mean,
that's a pair.
It's just there's so many of them.
Yeah,
and the schedules are just like it's nonstop.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
It's around the clock, nonstop.
And I don't want to demoralize you, but here's a little story which might demoralize you.
Yeah.
Which is so Valentine's Day is
it's my birthday.
Oh, that's right, it's your birthday.
That's right. Man. It's important. Important context for this story.
So me and my wife were going to go celebrate your birthday on Valentine's Day, and it's our 30th anniversary of our first date because we started dating. And she was a freshman in high school, so a long time ago. And so I've been trying to like figure out something special to do, right? And it's just literally impossible. Like the kids have stuff to do, like trying to get them to school and back. Like if I'm trying to do an overnight, a single night, one night away, right? One night with my youngest is almost 11. And it's like impossible. Like it can't be done. It's like I was trying to do it as a surprise. I just told her this morning. I was like, listen, and we have this whole joke where like I try to do nice things for her and they don't work out, and then I have to tell her about the nice thing I was going to do.
Classic
and I was like, this
dad,
is just another nice thing I was trying. I've spent days trying to work this out. It's impossible. Like there's no way I'm gonna be able to do this without including her, because like there's just too many things in motion. So to have any chance of even doing it is going to require both of us to like call in favors and all the stuff to make this one night happen. So yeah, it's a lot. Having the multiple kids, there's always somebody doing something who needs to go somewhere. They're sick. They're this, they're that. Like
so, for at least the next 11 years, we have. You got to keep me posted. Let me know how long it goes.
My wife's been trying to get back into the business and do some stuff, but it's so hard. Like from I think it was like something like early November to last week, I think it was. There hasn't been a single day where the kids, at least one kid, wasn't home. Like it's crazy. Like because people were sick, then there was time off, then there was holidays, and there was something else, and they had days off of school. Like it's like unbelievable. There's just like always stuff all the time.
They're just there.
They're there all the time. So
perfect.
All right.
Good to know.
There we go.
Yeah, thanks. Awesome.
This kind of ties in. Should we do your what you put on the list here with diapers? That kind of merges in, because I got some bad news around that too for you. So we'll go. We're full of bad news.
Yeah, listen. Let me tell you. So I'm a pretty normal guy.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I think maybe this is weird. I'm the only person I know that does this. But I think this is the reasonable position, and everyone else is unreasonable.
Okay.
I've changed a lot of diapers. Okay, I've changed
You're a pro.
lot of diapers, and continue to this day to change a lot of diapers. There's not been one. Well, I'll say there are fewer than a handful. So fewer than 5 times that I've changed a diaper without wearing
It's
gloves.
crazy.
Or a single glove. We'll say a single glove.
Michael Jackson. He's got the one glove.
I'm usually a single glove.
Just the hot
changer.
zone glove, I assume,
just
not the one that's
zone. Yes.
yeah, I gotcha.
Every single diaper I have ever changed, save for a few rare emergencies, I've worn a surgical glove to change the diaper.
That's wild. I have to say, I don't think I've ever heard of this.
The objectively, the most reasonable thing that you could do is wear a glove. Wear a glove when you're down there in the danger zone. I don't understand why. And my friends make fun of me for this. Man. I don't understand. I learned this because I saw it when we first. I'd never, ever, ever in my life changed a diaper before we had kids. Why would I?
Right.
Why would I change a diaper? I don't need to change other kids' diapers.
No.
At the hospital, they've got those gloves on the wall, right? They've got 3 boxes of gloves, small, medium, large. Doctors walks in, they put on a new pair of gloves. I see the nurses putting on gloves to change diapers, and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that. I don't want to touch that stuff. And so I'm grabbing gloves off the wall. When we left, I took a whole box. Like I paid $1 million to be here. I'm going to take a box of gloves home with me.
I love it.
And then when we ran out, I just ordered more off Amazon, and I've never stopped.
So I guess let's just start. I assume I feel like I gotta set the scene a little. I assume we're not a cloth diaper family. Let's just start there.
No.
We're
nobody got time for that. Yeah.
I agree. We can't deal with the cloth.
Sorry to the earth or whatever, but nobody's got time for that.
Right. All right. So we're regular diapers. I have to say, I feel like I'm not totally opposed to this, but it does feel like an extra step, which I don't know if I love the extra step exactly. Although I guess if you're going in, are you feeling like you then do you not have to hand wash post? Like, are you clean?
Oh no, you still hit the
you still hand wash
the pump. The
You
what's
do
it
it,
called?
okay.
Sanitizer next to the changing station
That's
post.
faster than a full hand wash.
Yeah.
It's, time wise, it's okay. You don't have any issues with like
No issues.
speed wise there. It doesn't
No
hurt your
issues
time.
speed wise. Pick them up, put them on the table,
Yep.
open the drawer, put a glove on, change.
What about
then you're done.
What about your wife?
Oh no, she's
hardcore.
all natural. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, never in her life. She didn't understand it.
I don't know. I have to say, I'm glad I'm out of the diaper zone. I mean, I guess I feel like my path to it was more like if you go with the proper wipe technique.
No,
it's fairly rare that you get it actually on your hands. Fairly rare. Not never.
Fairly rare is enough. Just for the
That's
record,
too much.
fairly
That's too
rare
much
is enough. Yeah, that's already too much.
I don't. I have to say, I'm so blown away by this. I haven't even really considered it. Like,
if we're talking a 1%,
this says Texas.
If we're talking a 1% chance, I'm wearing a glove. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't.
It's like a condom like situation here. You're going with the odds.
Sure. Yeah.
Gotcha.
In a way. Yeah. I just don't want. You never know. First of all, you never know what you're going to find.
Oh man, my follow-up to this is so perfect because it's just so perfect. All right, so when I read this, here was my reaction. And my reaction is that this whole, like, people get excited about being done with diapers, but that being done with diapers is sort of a lie that you're told as a parent. Like, there's this end zone of like, once they're out of the diapers, right, then we're free. But it's really not true. Like, it's good to be out of diapers. Like, you're sick of buying them, you're sick of throwing them out. Like, so that part's all good. It's definitely a big moment, and you are happy for it to arrive. But the wiping of the asses does not stop for a very long time after that. Yes. So you have lots of ass wiping to go. You have years of ass wiping.
What?
And this ass wiping is not going to be on your terms like the diaper is. The diaper is beautiful. Like, you pick them up, you put them down. They don't move. You zip them around. You clean them up. It's great.
Yeah.
When you're just at Target and the filthy toilet and they have to go and they're there and you have to wipe them. What are you going to do now with your glove situation?
Oh my God.
With this gross adult like poop? Oh, it's terrible.
This is news to me. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I thought at some point you just transition out of diapers and then you never see it again.
Letting you in on the secret. I hate to do it.
This is not a good day for me,
This
Ian.
is a bad day. This is a bad day.
You're telling me a lot of things I don't want to hear.
Oh man, but it's true. They just poop in the worst places and they can't and they need help and they didn't make it there. So now you're dealing with like,
oh my gosh,
the in-between situation. Like, you got an underwear full of poop that you're dealing with. Like,
I don't want to know any of this.
Oh man. Pulling over.
You're telling me I'm gonna be in gloves for the next 10 years too?
I'm saying you're gonna have like people wear phones strapped to their belts. You're gonna have like that, but for like a glove dispenser where you're just like, boom, no problem, gloves. Kids. Yeah. Bam, we're good.
Gosh. Well,
yeah, I'm excited to get the follow up in a year or two.
Plans.
Well, I guess the oldest ones are close, right? They're close. So if you get them out of diapers, we'll get a follow up fairly soon.
Yeah, we tried already once and it didn't take, and so we'll try again at some point. But yeah.
One little gross tip for as you exit the diaper phase.
Do I want it? I don't know if I. Okay. Yeah.
This is a good one. This is a good one. They make for the car.
Okay.
These potties that are like fold flat, and you open the potty, and then you use a gallon Ziploc bag as
the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
And then if you emergency have to go poopy, it's like boom, you pop them on that thing, you seal up the little Ziploc baggie, you're good to go. Yeah.
No, I refuse.
Thing was awesome.
I refuse.
You're gonna want that thing.
This. No.
when they're pooping in your Forerunner, you're gonna be like, oh, I wish I had one of those Ziploc bag toilets.
Suddenly, awesome. I'm wondering if I'm cut out for any of this.
You're a little late now. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I'm kind of barely scraping by, and you're telling me it gets worse.
Worse. It's better, but there are still challenges. There are still challenges.
There's
It's
still
like it's the
challenges.
same thing when they're little babies and you're like, great, I put them down and you're like, this is I need them to walk because it's so much better when they can walk. But then they start walking and then they're into
And they start
everything and then
walking.
you gotta watch them. They're walking in the road. They're doing the thing. So like that's its own new set of challenges, and that's the same kind of thing with the pooping. It's like you leave the one phase and that's good and happy, but then you get the new phase has its own challenges that you have to deal with.
Well, I'll keep you up to date on my strategies because I feel like the nitrile glove from Amazon is
I'm
a pretty good
excited about
strategy,
this.
and we'll see what I invent for the next phase.
Oh my gosh! All right. Any other kid stuff we need to cover? Kids, otherwise, they're doing all right.
Kids, otherwise are doing all right. Yeah, I think we're all good there. I have been working. I'll be curious to get your take on this. I've been working on. People are asking like, "Hey, how's it going? How you doing?"
Right.
And there's like a polite way to respond to like, "Hey, how's it going? How you doing?"
Right.
And then there's like the suburban dad way of responding. There's like I feel like there's a suburban dad scale of how you're doing.
Yeah.
And I've kind of been like, I've been workshopping the suburban dad scale of how you're doing. At the top of the scale, when you ask a dad at a barbecue how you're doing, top of the scale, living the dream. That's the top. That guy is watching football. He's got jet skis in his driveway for some reason. That guy, that's as good as it gets, right?
Well, okay. So I already have a question because I do feel like that is like it's like the ace. Like the ace could be the top of the straight or it could be the bottom of the straight. Like I feel like there's a lot in the inflection. Like you could have the negative version of that inflected negatively, and you're like, oh man, this guy's way down in the weeds. He's hating
we'll
life,
say
right?
unironic.
Okay.
Living the dream.
They're living
that
the
guy's
dream.
Maxed out. Yeah.
He's drinking beers. He's watching football.
He's drinking beer. He mowed his
People
grass
are bringing him
today.
food.
His team won.
He's got a cigar.
Whatever. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Exactly. So right below that, still on the positive side, is no complaints. No complaints.
Okay. All right.
Right? That's still like he's not living the dream.
Just above water. His head's above water.
Yeah. His head's above water. We're still on the positive side of the line. No complaints.
Right. I think there's only two. I think there's only two.
There's only two on the positive side of the line. Yeah.
All right.
Then below that, how you doing? Oh, we're making it.
Oh yeah, that's below the line for sure.
That's below the line, right?
Yeah.
That's not all the way. That's not all the way down, but it's like
you're not. Yeah, you can still see light. Yeah, you're not down in the depths, but it's not good.
But we're not even at no happy. Complaints. Yeah, right. we're making it. And then I think at the bottom is the bottom has a range, or the bottom has modifiers, but the beginning of the bottom is hanging in there.
Right, hanging in.
Right,
I use
that's
that one
the lowest,
myself.
Right?
Yeah, hanging in implies like because that they're being nice about it, so it's like hanging in is like it's probably pretty bad, but it's like whatever. They're not suicidal yet, so they're hanging in.
But but it has a scale, right? So you're hanging in there, or you're barely hanging in there.
Yeah, barely hanging in. Yep.
Right. And so that's like
Yeah.
and then there's the variable modifier of man, right? So
oh no, you don't want to hear the man.
You don't want to hear man because and the longer the man goes, the worse the guy's doing, right? So if you say, man, we're barely hanging in there, it's like, but if you say, man, we're barely hanging in there, that guy is almost gone.
He might be getting divorced. It's like
it is over.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I feel like
I think you got it. The scale is pretty solid.
That's the scale, right?
Yeah,
that's
I don't have any additions.
That's polite. That's the polite way to respond at a barbecue. Like, how you doing?
Yeah, have you ever had that? So have you ever been doing so bad that you broke down the badness, or do you stick with the scale?
If it's actual friends, I'll break it down, but most of the time it's the scale for sure.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah,
give people a flavor.
And the thing is, because if it's not friends, they don't want to know.
Who wants to hear that?
Especially if they're living the dream, they don't want to know.
Right. Yeah. Oh, the living the dream guy.
They're just asking. Oh, I'd love to be a living the dream guy. Can you imagine?
He sold his business.
Yeah.
He's fly fishing during the day.
Exactly.
He's working out 5 times a week. He's walking
around in the yard looking at stuff. What's he looking at? I don't know. Right. He's just looking at stuff.
He's gonna do his plantings. He's getting ready.
Oh
Gonna have some
man.
plantings this year.
Okay. Well, good.
There you go.
Suburban dad scale.
I have nothing to add to that. I think you've dialed it in.
I thought about it a lot. I've been thinking about it.
You've had time, like when you're rocking a baby or feeding a baby,
Exactly.
you're like, let me figure out this scale.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. What do we got?
All right. What else you want to do here? We got things. We got I don't know. Do you
I
want
want to hear about your poker tournament.
There's nothing much to this one. It was went
I
down
want
to
to hear how
Borgata,
you
Atlantic
ended
City.
up like at a surprise poker tournament, because you DM'd me and you're like, "Hey, you can't record. I'm doing a poker tournament now," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. Well, so I was gonna go to a poker. I had planned to go to a poker tournament. So I was like, whatever. I had to push in the button to reset the database all the freaking beginning of winter and whatever. That was over. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to a poker tournament, kind of reset my brain. I like the competition. I like using my brain in a different way from the like internet technology stuff. Like to sit there with the other mutants who are like
Right.
have their weird stories and things that happen at the poker table. But then I got the COVID, so I was sick with COVID. So then that messed up me going to my poker tournament. So I was like, oh, forget. I mean, I couldn't go. I was like sick. So okay, fine, I'm not going. Then I realized this was like a tournament series, and that there was actually one more tournament I could go to if I like whatever. I realized I could go. So that's why I messaged you. I'm like, can't record. And so I'm like, all right, we're gonna head down to this poker tournament. So I head down there. I made it to day 2, so it was a multi-day tournament. So I got through day 1, made day 2, lost focus, lost focus. I was intentionally doing what I was doing, but it was just a little too ambitious. I was making too ambitious a play. Got into a spot on the flop where I just had to go with it, so I went with it, and I lost. So that was it. And I was out.
So is this like an invite, or like you have to qualify for the tournament?
Just pay money. This is the beauty of poker, because it's
what's the buy-in?
This one was like 2,000 or something like that. So
and what did you stand to win? Like, what is the winner of it all? I guess
I think the winner was like 400,000 or something like that.
Whoa!
Yeah. Or maybe it's like 300,000.
So at the level that you exited at, do you get anything?
I got nothing. No, I got.
Oh no!
I got nothing. Yep, that was a bummer. So yeah, but it wasn't too exciting. I don't know. Like I've been I wanted to play more tournaments, because this is going to be my year of tournaments. I think that's the way I'm currently thinking about it. I'm kind of bored of the cash games. Like I know how to beat the cash games, which is nice. You just go there and win money, which is fine. Not every time, but the majority of the time. But it's also kind of boring. So trying to get better at tournaments. Tournaments are more where like the glory is in poker. This is kind of like so I don't know. So I'm trying to warm up. Might go to WSOP, which is like the big tournament series, the like famous tournament series in the summer. But I don't know. In these tournaments that have like larger buy-ins, like the players are very good and they're very studied, and there's all these tools now to study and programs and things like that, which I don't have time to delve as deep as obviously a professional poker player does. So yeah, so I don't know. This one was not too exciting. I was a little disappointed. I did, however, then so I try to keep my comps up, so I get the free rooms. The free rooms make it nicer to go play the poker tournaments, because if you have to like pay for the room, it's kind of another fee. And so I won like $3,000 playing roulette. So there we go.
What?
So yeah, that was good.
So you came home up?
I was up. So that was fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I had a nice little run on the roulette table. So
that's crazy.
I love roulette. Roulette is my alternative to poker, because there's zero thinking. Like everything else still has some level of thinking. No thinking. Pick a number. Okay, pick a number. Let's see if it hits. Great. It does. Awesome.
Whoa.
Doesn't.
So what's your strategy there? Do you do red black? You do pick like an actual individual number?
Yeah, you gotta pick a number. I don't like the red black.
Don't do that to me. What do I know about gambling?
I mean, you can pick red black, but like it's no fun. You gotta have take some risks. Pick a number. Pick a couple numbers. Put the money out there.
And so that's what you do? Pick a couple individuals?
I pick a couple numbers. Yeah. I have like ones that I usually pick my birthday, my wife's birthday. This is the full old man status. Like I got my handful of numbers, right, that I pick.
Yeah.
I'll do a couple other random ones. That's it. And
you
then
hit
either
enough
way, you
of
get your
those.
comps.
You hit enough of those to get $3,000 to win
Yeah.
$3,000.
Well, because it was that.
Should
So
I gamble? Is
you
gambling
should
easy?
gamble. We got to get you gambling. We'll get you gambling.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
man.
So there's like there are these. So if you go to a table that's like I don't know what the minimum. Usually it's like $50 a bet, which is not $50 on a single number. It's that across all your bets on the table. It's $50.
That's a
If
lot
you
of
do
money.
that, you can play at a better table, which has only 1 0, which is a superior table to the other
1-0
ones,
on
which
the
sometimes
wheel?
have 2 and 3. Yeah,
No.
right. So you get better odds, blah 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 blah. So it pays more to you, basically. So it's almost it's the one of the better bets because it's like losing not too much to the house. So you can play for
So
almost
it's a sure
even.
thing. That's what you're telling
Well,
me.
no, you're a sure thing to lose money, but I also have an ulterior motive, which is to get free rooms. So I get the free rooms.
Free, technically.
Yeah, free. I'm paying the house rake on a low rake game, and it's like balances out. Because the rooms are actually quite expensive at some of these places. So yeah, the free room is nice. And you win sometimes, which is nice. That's it. I had some dinner, had a nice steak. Then I came home. This was my first long trip in the EV, so that was a little bit of an adventure.
Oh, wow. And you
So
made
that
it.
was good. I made it there and back. Stopped both direct. I could have made it there without stopping, but they don't really have a good charging setup there or whatever. So I was like, well, I'll just stop so I have energy still for the way back. And then I stopped on the way back. It was fine. Like ran in Dunkin' Donuts, got a tea, took like 15 minutes, hit the road. So it was good. No problems.
That's great.
Yep. The way home, I stopped in this like outlet mall thing that has a charging station. So it was there. I walked around that quick just to do something, come back out. There's literally a SWAT team surrounding a van. Dogs are barking, like police dogs. It's like a whole situation. I don't know what was going on, but somebody was getting arrested for something. There was some kind of...
You didn't stay to watch?
I mean, it was kind of over when I came back out. It seemed like they had arrested whoever they were arresting, and they were like just securing the scene, like they were going through the van and stuff. But didn't seem like there was any more action to be had. So
you just threw your discount merchandise in the truck and drove off, huh?
I didn't buy any discount merchandise, to be fair, but yeah,
man,
drove off. Just drove off. I don't know. I haven't. And then the other night I had yesterday I went skiing and got stuck on chairlift for 20 minutes. It's cold up there.
It's because skiing sucks.
So I drag everything. I'm thinking about you the whole time. I'm dragging all the shit.
Yep.
At least the kids can carry their own stuff, so it's better. But still, you're dragging heavy skis and all this stuff. This is where snowboarding is far superior because it's just like you wear comfy boots and then
the boots are great for snowboarding.
The board. It's like I don't have all this other stuff. The skis, you have 2 poles and 2 skis and heavy, terrible boots and all this stuff. So whatever. But I don't snowboard, so I got all my shit, dragging it around. Whatever. It was a nice little day at the mountain, other than getting stuck in the lift. It had snowed, which was rare, and yeah, it was good. So it was a good day out in nature in the winter, which is nice. But yeah, that's kind of been my action. Not as exciting as your action.
Yeah, I'll take your action over mine. Though.
You gotta get the kids skiing. Wait till you drag these 4 skiing. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm just telling you now. There's no chance. There's just no chance. I'm just not gonna do it. Neither will Jennifer. Jennifer just won't do it.
Does she ski?
No.
No. Yeah, that hurts your odds too.
Yeah.
Poor kids.
Living in Texas with 2 parents that don't really care to ski.
Yeah.
These poor kids. Yeah, they're just
maybe,
not.
When they go to college, maybe they'll
go to college
and
ski with their friends,
right.
and they'll be the bad ones, just like I was the bad one. And it's like, it's fine. You still have fun. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right. You want to talk once?
Sure.
What do you think? They released it. It's
called
Campfire.
Exactly what I thought it would be. Yeah. Fun. So it's not that exciting. It's like I don't think anybody's going to really, replace a real instance of Slack. Maybe a few people.
What do you mean they're going to replace a real instance of Slack?
I just don't think a lot of people are going to do that. I think some people are going to replace it for things that they shouldn't have been paying Slack for to begin with, and some people are going to, as far as like 90% of the people I see talking about it are literally just going through the code to see DHH's code, which is what I thought the majority of sales would be, and they seem to be that. And then, there's some people who maybe were paying for Slack for communities, which is a total ripoff. And so, yes, maybe they'll replace it. Fine. I mean, I don't think Salesforce is awake at night being like, oh man, this $2.99 with no support app is gonna like kill us. Like,
Yeah.
fine. I don't think any business people are ever gonna think about it. Like, no regular business person is gonna be like, boy, let me see what alternatives are to Slack and come across this and be like, yeah, this is the thing. I get to go to IT and beg them to install this thing that's got no support and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not, nobody wants that. It's not the thing people are buying as a business process tool. So I think people who want free just go to Teams or whatever, like, since they're already paying Microsoft.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
Okay.
It looks a little. Basecamp has that certain way of designing things that I don't
Right.
super love. It always looks a little underdone or a
Everybody
little
hates their designs, yeah.
cartoony. Yeah, I don't super love it, but I appreciate that they're doing something different. Same with the Cybertruck. Don't love the way it looks, but I'm glad
Right.
somebody's trying something. But I think it's great. I think the way they've set it up is, I think it has no email. It has no, I
Right.
think it's a SQLite database.
Yeah.
And so they've done a lot of things that are like dependency free, which I think
Yeah.
is really interesting and helps their whole like, you can self-host this shtick.
Yeah.
And I have seen, not normal businesses, but communities are a big one that have been like, yeah, we're
Yeah.
definitely going to move to this because Slack is, prohibitively expensive for our communities.
Right.
And
Which
I think that's
fine.
cool. Yeah.
But I mean, you
And-
could have also used Discord. You could have also used
have you used Discord?
Discuss or whatever. What is the other one that's like a forum?
Discuss is the web-based forum. Discord is the one for degenerate gamers. Yeah.
There we go. Right. Yeah. Discord. I like Discord. I think Discord's all right. You don't like Discord?
No, Discord's terrible.
I think it's fine.
Discord is chaotic. It's impossible to use.
Really?
Discord is
Slack.
No, it's not like Slack. It's way worse.
I mean, if you use it, I never use it beyond just like I'm in here asking a question or like I'm typing something just like into a chat box. Like I'm not doing anything fancy, but it's fine.
No, it's terrible. I'm surprised. I think young people like Discord.
Yeah, if you're doing a community site, I feel like to not do it on Discord is actually probably not a good move overall, because like that's where everybody else's community sites are, and now I have to remember to go to your once Slack alternative thing instead of just being in Discord and seeing your icon there next to all the other icons of all the other communities I'm part of. So I feel like that's kind of a negative, a pretty big negative, honestly, of like running a community site on some off-purpose server somewhere. But obviously it depends, and like geeky tech people are a little bit different. Yeah, they're going to go to that weirdo Slack because that's where people hang out, whatever, fine. But I don't know, like if you were doing a game chat thing, but of course you would do it in Discord. Or even if you're doing like, even with rando people, I feel like Discord's going to be better. They're more likely to already have it, blah, blah, blah. Like it has a mobile app, which people like.
Yeah, I'm curious when I'll get invited to my first weirdo Slack, my first campfire.
You're not going to. It's not going to.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Not gonna happen?
I don't think it's gonna happen. Maybe one.
I don't know.
Hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet. I think. Whoa.
People are just in there, just looking at DHH's code, man. They're not running things on this.
I think conferences could do it. It could be good for conferences to spin up something, have a bunch of people join, and then tear it back down.
I don't know. I mean, you got the
communities,
moderation tools. Like it's got obviously no moderation tools. Like I don't know. It's okay, I guess.
It's
pretty bare bones.
You're so down on it.
I'm not down on it, but it just is what it is, right? Like I think it's not. I think the homepage is still one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen compared to what they shipped. Like it's nothing at all to do with what they shipped. It's totally wrong still in everything they said. What they shipped doesn't make it right. It's still wrong. And whatever. I don't think you're going to see like, oh man, this thing, maybe I'll be wrong. Who knows? I just don't think you're going to be like, oh, every Slack community is now one of these things. I think, and it's also inevitable that the ones that go on it are going to someday be like, yeah, you know what? With the guy who maintained this server, he's gone and nobody even knows how to log into the server. And now what do we do? Oh, we're just going to move to Discord because that's the obvious thing to do. Like I don't know, I just think like that's like we know how this works. We've seen on-premise software. Like we know the answers. It's like people have pretending that they forgot. I see people out there talking about like this is some revolution. Like this is like full old man yells at cloud, I guess, but like we know what happens. People don't want to run their own servers. They don't want to. Like, can you come up with some niches that want to? Yes, you can. Can you tell me how your use case is special flower and you're going to take care of it like a little baby? Fine, great. But like, otherwise, nobody wants to do that. It's terrible. Everybody knows it's terrible.
That's what I was looking
Everybody's
for.
who's a coder has gone in and looked at that server that you have in Forge. You don't even remember why you spun it up. It's iffily named. And you're like, it's 6 PHP versions old and it's Laravel 5. And you're like, what the hell am I going to do with this thing? Like, it's the same exact thing. Like, nobody's going to want to deal with this. To save no money if you use Discord or a few bucks if you use Slack, when you already can use Teams for free probably anyway. Like, so just a weird value proposition. It's fine. And some people will use it, and that's great. I'm not down on it. Fine. But like, it's not revolutionizing anything. It's not replacing Slack.
Is that the sticky wicket for you? They claim they're revolutionizing.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
They're like, we're just like, hey, we had some time and we thought this would be cool. Fine.
But you think the claiming that it's a movement,
right?
That's the problem.
They have to make everything a movement, right? Like they always have to make everything's a movement. Like we can't just do this thing and like we do it because it's right for us. It's like, no, we're doing this thing. Everybody should do this thing. This is the way the world is going. When it's obviously not the way the world's going. It's never been a worse time to host your own server. Like literally. Like it's the worst time ever. And tomorrow is worse than today. Every day is worse than yesterday in terms of hosting your own servers. Like there's just more attack vectors than ever. There's more people who can attack you than ever. There's more automation in attacking you than ever. There's more like solidification of what people should do and why they should attack you to steal money from you or to ransomware you or all these things. It's all bad. And that this we will lead into a thing that happened to me this week where we signed up for a service. We pointed a CNAME at their, some URL they gave us, and whatever. We stopped using the service forever ago. I'll cut the story short. It's more complicated than this, but basically, they lost control of that domain, and somebody bought that domain essentially, and redirected this subdomain we had pointed at them to some bad site where you download stuff.
Really?
It wasn't attacked at us. It was more at this original service where had a lot of people pointing inbound to it with subdomains from good domains, and they realized that they could redirect those and point them at whatever they want. So they pointed them at, some hacky download stuff.
Smart.
And Google Webmaster Tools notified us that like, hey, the URL on your site is pointing to malicious stuff. Maybe you've been hacked or whatever, which, you should all sign up for Google Webmaster Tools if you haven't, because it actually does do some nice things like that, even though it's very googly and they don't help you and it's kind of horrible in the actual implementation. But ultimately, it did tell us about this. So yeah, there's just like, so whatever. I removed the DNS entry and fixed it, and that was that. But still, like, there's just people looking to do shady stuff all the time. And why do you want to be responsible for protecting anything from the shady people? Like, I want the lowest. I do it for our customers, and that's it. And I don't want to do any more than that. There's nothing. I don't want to do any more at all. Like, that's the most I want to do. And I don't even want to do that. But I definitely don't want to do like I have a chat server somewhere that I'm responsible for securing. No. Pass.
I saw you talking your own book again when DHH and crew got a DDoS attack and they put Cloudflare in front of it.
Cloudflare!
And you quote tweeted and said everyone should use Cloudflare for everything. And I almost responded and said you should disclose that you're an investor in Cloudflare.
I did. I love Cloudflare. Cloudflare. Use it. It's the best. They save DHH. If it could say DHH, who doesn't want to run anything on the internet anymore, and everything's offline, he manages everything himself in his little whatever from Malibu or whatever. Even he uses Cloudflare. So just go use Cloudflare. It's so much better. It's amazing. DHH actually tweeted at me. I don't know if you saw that. He was frumpy with me. He was frumpy with me.
I'm shocked.
I know, and I didn't get all into it with him, whatever, but like he thought I was saying, well, I thought he was saying, and I think he was saying this, but whatever. Because I had said something in my quote tweet about like they're going to like ramp up servers with their host or whatever, and everybody says to me like that's stupid. You don't ramp up servers for a denial of service attack. Which yes, I know that.
Yeah. Yep,
but that's what he said. He said that they were going to their colo provider and getting their help, which a colo provider is not going to do diddly squat for your DDoS attack. Like that's not what they do. Like
correct.
They might have some little half-ass load balance firewall thing, but that's not going to do anything. So I assumed he was going to get more servers, which I thought was weird, but that's what he said. So whatever. So then he was like, I didn't, whatever. That's stupid. We wouldn't do that. Fine. Like, so I didn't go back and forth with him on it, but I get that that's not what you do for DDoS. What you do is you get Cloudflare, which is what he did, which is great.
I can't believe I missed the ENDHH combo.
Yeah, we had a little combo.
Well, that's exciting. We should have him on the show.
I guess we should someday. That would be kind of fun.
Are you kidding me? That would be so much fun.
That would be fun. I don't know. Have DHH on here. I'd rather have Jason Fried. Jason Fried, I generally agree with Jason Fried. DHH, he's a little much. He's like always like, just always selling. I don't know. But maybe someday.
Once we're bigger.
Once we're bigger. We gotta be big enough. We gotta approach him mano a mano. We gotta be equals.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
All right. Anything else?
No, I'm good. It was a barely technical. So people
barely technical.
Barely technical. All right. Thanks everybody. We'll let Aaron get back to these kids here. So follow us at mostlytechnical.com, mostlytechpod on Twitter, mostlytechnicalpodcast at Gmail, and we will be back to you soon-ish, next week or two. Kind of how things are going. Talk to you soon.
See ya.
Bye.